Hello and welcome to another Posted in the Past video. Today I'm going to talk to you about 3 postcards from my first book, Posted in the Past. The first 2 don't necessarily have very exciting images. I guess if you're a train enthusiast, I have to apologise to you. But it's actually the reverse of this card, as with all of them, which is, to me, the most interesting aspect. All of the cards that I have researched for my books were sent in the early years of the 20th century. And using genealogy, I have researched the people who received them, and sometimes, when I'm able to, the people who sent them. And I'll just show you the reverse, and then I'll read to you some of the postcard. Perhaps a curious thing, although we have the address of where the card was sent to, which was an address in Essex, the sender has put that he's sending it from the chemical lab in East Ham. Now, when I looked at the address in the 1911 census returns and 1901, I discovered that this wasn't actually a chemistry lab. It was the guy's home address, and he actually at this time was learning the chemistry of paint, and this is what he actually did as an occupation later. He and his friend who received the card both served in the First World War, and the recipient actually worked for the Customs and Excise. But what is so charming about this card, I'll show it to you and then I will read it to you, is the bottom line of text underneath the postcard's printing. And it is smudged, I'm afraid, so it isn't actually that easy to read. But he's actually added the colour of the ink, the details, and he's put that it's alkali blue and patent blue. And you can see, I hope, that it is actually a rather nice shade of blue. So that was a fun card to research. Even more so because of the colour of the ink. Now this is another card which on the front doesn't necessarily look too interesting. I'm sorry if it's flashing. It's a glossy finished photo card. I'll quickly show you the reverse before I read it to you, and you can see that the address has been written rather in black ink, and then the message, whoops, oh, get it right, the message is actually sent in red ink. And the message, I'll just read it to you. Got caught in the rain last night going home. See you tonight as soon as possible after 7. And then you have the acronym WBLAKF, with best love and kisses forever. And then George, who sent the postcard, has signed it with those lovely 6 kisses. Now, what makes this card so special is it's another one where I've been able to match the handwriting of the sender to an official record, because George hasn't provided any details about who he is apart from we know he got caught in the rain. So I was very fortunate that I found that he married the recipient of the card, and Miss Tommins, who lived in Hull. And on the marriage register, I was able to confirm that the groom, the husband, is actually the rather romantic man who sent the postcard. I think it's rather daring. I don't know. It strikes me as a little bit risque to use red ink, but hopefully she appreciated it. They didn't marry for some time actually after the card was sent, but it's a nice story. Handwriting, of course, is a big part of the research. Sometimes it can be writing that I can't read, I can't transcribe it, I have no idea what the message actually means. and even the address is something of a guess until I've actually pinned them down. And it can take some time. What is lovely though is when you get the handwriting of children, and I will be doing another video about children sending their postcards. And you can see that the sender of this card has ruled lines across it. I don't know if you can pick that out. They've ruled that's better. You can see that they've ruled lines across it so that the handwriting is so straight. The message actually refers to postcard collecting, and of course this was during the golden age of the postcard, when it's been reported, though obviously you can't prove it, that most households would have an album to keep their postcards in. And of course, even the messages, the mundane postcards, which were routine, they were kept, because obviously if they weren't, I wouldn't be able to buy them. But people were sending, receiving postcards purely to add to their own collections. And this is the case in this card, which was sent to a Doris who lived in Balham. And the sender, who only signs their name as H. Grant, and I was never actually able to find out who they were, although I did eliminate a few possibles, but I wouldn't say categorically that I found them. Anyway, dear Doris, thanks for PC you sent me. I would very much like the set. Would you like the set of the pageant? So this is one of the postcards of the pageant series, and so clearly what these young collectors and adults were doing was actually sending the sets to each other. And I think that's so sweet, because Doris, who received this card, it was posted in 1910, so she clearly kept it for a long time. And you sort of wonder what has happened to these collections. Very often, if you look online, or perhaps you can find a box in a shop, there will be several sent to the same person. It's their personal collection that they've kept, perhaps in a shoebox or whatever, and for whatever reason the collection has to be disposed of. And very often, if I find a collection, if it's online or if it is in a box, I won't just buy one, although I only need one to do the research. Buying more doesn't actually necessarily add to the story of the person who sent or received the card. But I buy perhaps three, because that then creates a new collection, I think. And I think that although I can't possibly buy them all, because they're usually sold for £1 each, and there might be 100, and I only need one, but investing £3 is a small amount, I think, to recreate the collection, and actually to create a new one. And if I ever dispose of any of these postcards that I've bought that I haven't researched, perhaps I haven't been able to trace them and I've bought them on a chance, they would be sold together, and hopefully whoever buys them would keep them together. I mean, there's no guarantee, but I do feel that it's important that we try to keep them together. And sometimes it's a shame when you see these collections broken up, but if you can keep 2 or 3 of them, at least there is something more than just one postcard. There is more of a story there. Anyway, that's the end of this short video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Every day on Twitter and Facebook, as posted in the past, I share a postcard, which could be from either of my books, or it could be postcards that I've bought to research for the future. You'll find those, like I say, on social media. And there are more videos. If this is the first one you've seen, well, I'm sorry, but there's a few more for you to wade through at your leisure. Anyway, thank you for watching.